All right, welcome, guys. Today we have a very, very special guest. His name is David Nizo. Who is Nizo? What is Nizo?
Nizo is my father's last name, actually. That's where it came from. And I had a dream once in my life that I wanted to be the biggest, baddest, best auto body shop in New York and Miami and LA and Vegas. And I took my father's last name and I built it into one of the top successful auto body shop businesses in the world.
And how long you been in the auto body shop industry for?
So I was towing, I'm 31 now. I was towing cars since I was 16 years old. And I first opened my first auto body shop in June 6th, 2020.
Wow.
So it's about 5 years now owning an auto body shop.
Now, how did you start driving tow trucks at 16 years old, such a young age? Like, how was your childhood? How was your upbringing? Did you have a good upbringing, or what were some of the challenges you faced?
I was always getting into trouble since a child. I was not a good child. I was actually a very problematic child. I have a twin brother, so it was like double trouble. You know, we went through so many childhood traumas together. And my brother went into one path, and I went into a different path. And the path that I went into was, I was driving down actually Queens Boulevard, funny story, and I always liked pickup trucks. And I seen a nice airbrushed American flag pickup truck. And I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful truck. And I told the guy in the window, I'm like, roll down the window. I'm like, yo, I like that truck. He's like, you chase? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, we're hiring, follow me. And I'm like, I told my friend, I was with my friend Avi at the time. Shout out to Avi. He was with me since that first day I got into my truck. And they said, follow me to the shop, which was VMA Auto Collision. It was called Impressive at that time. And I followed the truck to the body shop, and I met this guy named Neil. And he's like, did you ever chase before? I honestly didn't even know what the hell that even meant. I don't know anything about towing. And I said, yes, I do. And he said, good, you start tomorrow. I'm like, wait, going to Cancun. It was spring break, I remember. It was about this time of year in March when I was 16 years old. And he said, when you come back, your truck will be parked right there on that sidewalk. And I went to my spring break vacation, and the day I came back, I went to his shop, and my truck was right there on the sidewalk.
Now, what is a chaser? What do you mean you were a chaser? What is that exactly?
So back at that time, I used to have a police scanner, and I would hear a call, like a 53, it's called an accident on the radio, and I would go to the accidents and try to get that customer come back to the shop as long as they had full coverage insurance.
Now, how did you make money? So you hear an accident, you go to the accident. What are you doing to convince the customer to take the car to your shop, and how does that benefit you?
To be honest, I don't remember word for word what I was taught at that time, what I was saying. So my job was to bring the customer back to the shop and let my boss at the time close the deal.
Okay, and how many years were you in a tow truck for?
From 16 till June 6, 2020. Okay. I retired in the towing game.
Now, why did you stop towing and want to start your own auto body shop? What was the change in your mind that said, you're retired of your current environment? What changed?
Well, I was the #1 tow truck driver in New York City. When I mean that, body shops used to fight over me for me to work for them. I can name a lot of shops, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to use names. But a lot of shops I used to have a group chat with maybe 5, 6 body shop owners, and I would get a car and I would send it in a group chat and see who would bid the highest for me to bring them that car.
Wow.
And I got in so good that body shop started offering me, get me a Lamborghini as a lease, a BMW, anything that I wanted, I always had it because I brought the business. I brought them cars, and the cars that I was bringing, no other chaser or tow truck driver was bringing.
Now, why is New York a good state to, have your own body shop business? What makes New York so special about this industry?
No state is special of having a body shop. It's all about the person, how they build themselves or how they brand themselves, and especially do the work. If you do shit work, you're not getting clients.
Yeah.
If you do good work and you have a good customer base, you're going to do great.
Now, in 2020, when you started your first shop, how did you even find a location, and how much did it cost total, if you don't mind sharing? Like, how was that process?
Oh, this is a very funny story. So this is why I don't fuck with a lot of body shops, because they're all fucking liars. This gentleman, I was working for a shop for Perfections in Long Island City, and one of this guy, I can't say names, like I said, he offered me a job, and he said, he'll buy me my own body shop and be partners with me if I left the place I was working and work with him for a couple months and show him any cars I bring. He'll get me a shop. And that was a very good deal for me. I went back to my boss at the time, and I told him, this guy's offering me this. Can you match that? And he says, no, you leave. And after all the years and money I brought to this person, I says, it's like that? All right, fuck you. And I left.
Wow.
And I went to that place. I produced. I'll make it short. I produced. And the guy got the shop for me, but he never put it in my name. He put everything under his name. And the day I called the landlord to get the keys to the shop, the guy says, what keys? You're not on the lease. And once I felt that, I felt fucked over again. So I went to that gentleman that fucked me over, and I told him, you have two options. Either you're going to give me the keys, and I'll give you your money back, or I'm going to fucking kill you. And he chose the right decision, and he gave me the keys, and I gave him his money, and that's how I started. I didn't even have lights in my building. I had no money in my pocket. I had nothing, literally a key, a gate, and an empty warehouse with a bunch of wood in it.
Oh, and where's that first location at?
3631 22nd Street in Astoria, New York.
And do you still have the location today?
I actually sold the place to get a bigger one around the corner.
Wow. Now, how was it starting out? You had no money at the time. You just got the keys. What did you do next to get the money to start bringing equipment and machines? How did you start making way? Were you still tow truck driving? What were you doing?
I was still a tow truck driver. So what I would do is, I was everything. I was the body man. I was the washer. I was the secretary. I was the tow truck driver. I was the administrating part. I did every single thing for my customer. As the second I got to the accident till the second they left in a rental car, I have done everything for that customer myself.
Now, what is it that you did differently? So if a customer gets in an accident, what is it that you're doing immediately, and how does the whole process work with the insurance, the collision, and getting the car back? Explain the whole process.
Pick up the customer's car if they call you, bring them to the shop, call the insurance company, set up their claim with the customer, obviously, on their behalf. Get them to the rental. Luckily, Enterprise was down the block from me, and they were actually closing down. And the amount of business I was bringing them in, they actually built their business back up in that location because of me.
Wow.
And at that time, I started bringing about 20 cars a week, which is 80 cars a month. And I didn't have one body guy or one screwdriver, and I was subletting my work out to other shops. So I'd get the car, order the parts, and pay another body shop to fix it for me.
Oh, and then at what point in time did you start hiring employees to start doing the work at your shop?
Once I started getting very busy, I couldn't handle doing everything myself. I said, okay, I need my fiance at the time. She actually started helping me running the shop as a secretary, helping me with the checks. Because, bro, I'm a hood kid. I'm from the hood. I came from a low-income family, and I don't even know what the hell a checkbook was. I didn't even have a debit card. My credit was 500. I didn't have anything. All I had was just me and my fiance, and she helped me write checks. She helped me sign up my customers. She helped me. She believed in me. And that's one thing I tell a lot of people: you need a good partner to believe in you. Because if you don't have that, I don't think I would have I've started myself, but I wouldn't be able to finish all the little broken ends. She put those pieces together for me.
Now, you started this in 2020, correct?
Yes.
Now, how did COVID affect your business? Did it affect you or help you and become more motivated? How did that affect you personally?
I don't care if it's COVID or the world was fucking blowing up. It's all about you. You don't rely on a pandemic to get business. It's you that gets the business.
Oh, and especially in New York being kind of closed down at the time, that didn't stop you from working, right?
Nothing stops me.
What are some core values that you live by each and every single day and you want others to hear about?
Manifestation. That's it. There's no three things. There's only one thing. It's manifestation.
Did you manifest the position you're in now back then?
Of course. I manifested me sitting here right now. Anything. What
did you learn about all this entrepreneurial and business mindset at? Where did you learn this mentality of always wanting to go get it and be better and make more money?
So I used to make a lot of money as being a tow truck driver. And I remember this wise man told me once, he took me out to dinner and he embarrassed me because I was wearing a fake watch on my wrist. I was living a life that I couldn't afford. I was living over my means. What I mean by that is I was living paycheck to paycheck, or if I made 10,000, I was spending 12. If I made 20, I was spending 25. And he sat me down, took me to dinner, and he told me, aren't you embarrassed of yourself? You don't own one property, you don't own a car, you don't own a real watch. You're out here fronting for the gram, and you're living a lifestyle you can't actually live. You should be embarrassed of yourself and not take this as an insult. And he told me, you should stay home for about 6 to 8 months and sacrifice, and then come out when you have money and build something for yourself. Because he said, I do believe in you. And that day, it was in Pergola Hookah Lounge in Manhattan. And I was sitting there so angry, I wanted to punch this motherfucker right in his face, because I don't let nobody talk to me like that. But from that insult, it actually changed the view in my mind. And he made sure I paid that bill before I left. Because he said, I'm not paying this bill. You're going to pay it. And you're going to go home. And you are going to sacrifice 8 to 10 months of your life so you could flip everything. Because I do believe in you. And I know in a matter of a couple of years, you're going to be one of the top dogs. And I swallowed my fucking ego and pride. And I paid the bill with the last chump change I had. Because I spent it the night before at Starlets and Rivieras. And I went home. And you didn't see me for 8 months after that.
And how old were you at the time?
This was right before 2020, 2019. So I don't remember. Maybe.
So this is right before you started.
About my 25, 26.
This is right before you started your first shop, correct?
Yes.
Now, do you feel like if you didn't have that conversation with this man, you wouldn't be where you're at today?
I don't say I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
But what influence do you think it had on you?
Be as fast.
And by him saying you have to lock yourself down from 6 to 8 to 10 months, why do you think he meant that? What is the general message behind that?
So if you're living paycheck to paycheck and living a lifestyle you can't afford, as I had FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm on my Instagram and I'm scrolling at night when I'm about to sleep and I see people out. I'm like, yo, fuck this, I'm going out. I didn't want to be home. And if you are a person that doesn't like to be by yourself or lonely, it's very lonely being alone at that time. Mm-hmm. I was single and I just wanted to party and go out and have fun and do the crazy single life, you know? And I remember I was like, enough is enough. I'm tired of fucking spending all my money and not having nothing to show for it. And I just sacrificed 10 months of my life, and that's all it took. Think about it like being in jail for 10 months. No matter what, you're going to sit there. Just rather sit home. But give yourself a 10-month sentence.
Now, live a life you can't afford. Do you see a lot of people make that mistake today?
Everybody. I see it. They try to get stuff that they can't afford, which they think they can. Your mind plays a lot of tricks on you. And living in New York or Miami, everyone has ego issues. There's always somebody that got more money than you. Always. So I don't care what you think you have, that man or that woman has 10 times more than you. And it's always like that. Just people think that people can't like live up to their standards, and it's normal, you know? That's ego.
Yeah. Now, what about the circle of friends you have now? Are your friends more successful than you? Do they all have businesses? Like, are you very picky with the people you hang around now?
I don't look at anybody's pockets, so I look at
not pockets, but in general. Do you look at the people you hang around, like the way they character?
Of course, I watch everything. I'm a very smart man, and I see how everybody moves. I don't judge you on what you have. I judge you on what you can do. I will judge you on your potential. You could have money today, no money tomorrow. God can take everything in a snap of a finger. But I want to know if you're going to change under pressure or for money. That's how I see people.
Now, tell us about this first shop. So after you get the ball rolling, things are going good. When did you decide to open the second shop? And tell us kind of that story.
So I outgrew my first shop. Okay. I was getting so much work. I had nowhere to put cars. Cars were getting towed from outside because I didn't have a yard. I had a little like parking spot. So I was parking cars on the sidewalks, in the car wash. I had no space to put any car. I'm like, it's time to fucking go. And I didn't even have a spray booth. I had a fucking little curtain I would paint in the back. And I says, I'm getting a lot of exotic cars and nice cars. And I'm like, I'm tired of painting behind a fucking curtain. So I said, let me go and find an actual body shop and start expanding.
And when was the expansion and what date, what year?
It was in September of 2022.
Okay, and how many shops in New York do you have now?
3.
Wow. Now, you said you were painting yourself. Who taught you how to fix cars yourself? Like, where did you learn this skill at?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Your mind and YouTube. You can Google how to do anything. You can TikTok how to do anything. Literally. You can TikTok right now how to build a fucking window, and it will show you.
Now, what separates Nizo from other body shops in New York? How are you always making sure that you're the best at what you do?
Like I said, it's all about ego. And I know I'm the fucking best. And everybody that's watching, they know I'm the best too.
But what are some key characteristics that make you the best? What are some of the things that you do that you see other body shops not doing?
I make customers happy. I'm a man of my word. I market the fuck out of my company, and I spend almost all my money on marketing. And I believe in myself. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. Reason why I'm so cocky right now is because I believe in myself. A lot of people don't believe in themselves, and they don't take their full potential and to get somewhere in life.
Now, as a man, why is your word so important?
That's all you have in this world, your world and your balls, and I'm not gonna break them for nobody.
Have people you met broke their word to you before, and how do you look at them after?
I don't respect you at all. If you break your word, I'm never gonna respect you. I may shake your hand or pretend to do business with you, but in my eyes, you're cut off.
Now, if someone wants to start their own body shop, after everything you've learned across the years, what are some mistakes that you've made that you want to tell them to not make?
Don't trust nobody. That's one free game I'm gonna give you. Be careful who's in your inner circle. And the rest, you're gonna have to join my class for that. And I will describe everything in the class of what you should and shouldn't do.
Now, what type of program do you have, and how are you going to help? How do you help all the body shops grow? What are some of the things that you do?
So this course, actually, that I'm making is to help your guys' body shops scale numbers that I have. And this is not no scam or this for you to buy some kind of bullshit class. This is actually to scale your business. You will be talking to me, and I will show you how to get crazy numbers in expanding your team into marketing and media, stuff that you guys have never done. Stuff that will change the whole game in just a snap of a finger.
Now, what makes you credible as a coach?
I'm not saying I'm credible, but I think you guys know exactly what I have done in the past 4 or 5 years. And I don't have to talk more.
Now, why do you think it's important for someone to learn from someone that's already been in the industry for as many more years than they have and to skip those mistakes that they made? Why do you think that's important for someone to pay someone else to learn this?
Because you're going to save a lot of time and a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes can be very expensive. They can cost you your life. They can cost you a lot of fines. They can cost you a lot of problems with other companies and stuff that I have already been through. You don't have to go through that because I'm going to cut all that off.
Okay. Now, looking back, if you go back in time when you were first starting in the body shop business in 2020, what's a few things you would change differently knowing what you know now?
My circle. That's exactly what I wanted, that I will explain in my course. Your circle. That's your number one place to look.
Do you think money buys happiness?
Money does not buy happiness. And you could hear it from me. I thought I'm a very empty person inside. And by saying empty person inside, I thought having a nice Lamborghini or a nice home or nice jewelry will make you happy. Honestly, that's all materialistic things. It maybe make you happy for the first 5-10 minutes you have it, but you'll always be searching for more. Now, and that's greed.
Now, someone that's obviously does very well and is a millionaire now. What's something you value very important now?
My family.
Okay. And are you married?
Gonna be soon.
Okay. And how long have you been with this person for?
6 years.
And how did you guys meet, if you don't mind sharing?
Very funny story. So, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Bounce Sporting Club. I went there with one of my friends, Eric the jeweler, and we were just having a great time. I brought a girl with me. We had a nice little cabana section, and in front of me was standing this beautiful girl with all back tattoos. I'm like, damn, who the fuck is that? And the girl kept touching me that I was with. I'm like, yo, get the fuck off me. And she's like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, my whole attention was on this girl. And I'm like, I need to know who this fucking girl is. So I came side by side by her, and I'm just looking at her like a stalker. And I'm like, I got to talk to this girl. What can I tell her? And I try to say, hey, how are you? And she just looked at me, grilled me, and looked right back. I'm like, I'm not going to give up. So I'm like, she was smoking a jewel. So I did what most men wouldn't do. I just ripped the jewel out of her hand, and I started smoking it. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, what? I'm just smoking a jewel. And from me doing that, of having that much confidence in myself to do that, this girl was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? And that's exactly what I wanted her reaction to be, because I want her to realize me and notice me. And from just doing that, I asked her, I'm like, listen, I think you're beautiful. I need your number. And she said, absolutely not. And I says, okay, well, you're not leaving here without you giving me your Instagram, at least. And I looked at her phone and I made sure she followed me and messaged me. And from there, it was history.
Wow. Now, how important is it to have someone by your side that has the same goals and same vision as you? Why is a life partner so important to you specifically?
She never had the same goals as me. She had other goals, and I respect her goals in every single way. But one thing that I do respect about having a good partner is her believing in your goals. That's what love is believing in your partner, and her sacrificing everything for my goals.
Would you be where you're at today without her?
No, absolutely not. No, I wouldn't. You need the right partner in your circle to help you go through crazy, traumatic. I put that girl through hell. I'm not going to lie, with ups and downs, but she has helped me get to the level that I am now.
And do you have any kids?
Yes, I have one kid.
How old?
She's 1.5.
Wow. Now, ever since becoming a father, how has life changed for you, and how has your perspective on things changed?
To be honest, everything in this world does not matter to me except my little girl. I could trade anything I have. I will trade my life for my daughter any day, any time, any place. I'll give her my last breath.
Now, how is it important for you to give her the best life possible in the life you didn't have growing up?
That's all I want to do. I literally run out of anywhere that I am. I'll be in a restaurant and I just look at my phone. She's my screensaver. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm going home. I want to be with my daughter.
Wow. Now, question for you. So, now what's next for Nizo? What do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
My goal, I already showed so much that I can do as a one man. I want to help other body shops that are struggling. I really genuinely have a big heart, and I want to help other shops that are failing to be where I'm at. I want to show them that they can do what I've done. And I have done it, guys, with haters, with a lot of people bringing me down, authorities, friends, family, nobody believing in me. And I've been through all of those ups and downs that I know how I can help you to get into the right path that you want to be. And I want you guys to believe in me so I can believe in you.
And do you generally have a passion for helping people?
Yes, I do. If you ask anybody that knows me, and whoever's watching, if you know that you know me, you know that I always help.
Now, you said you want to help failing shops. Why do you think there are shops today that are failing? What are some of the mistakes that you see very often?
I can't say that because that would be giving free game. And for me to be part of your team is honestly an honor. And for that, my services have to be paid and compensated.
So nothing's free over here.
Well, if you need any advice or help, that'll be free.
Yeah.
With anything personal in your life.
Yeah.
You can shoot me a message and talk to me any day. But it's coming through the auto body shop business, you definitely have to compensate me for that.
Now, you said you had a lot of haters and all this stuff. What do you mean by that? You had a lot of like haters, like as you were trying to be successful. What were some of the things people were doing to you to bring you down?
Oh my God, I don't even know where to start. There's so much to talk about in such little time. But like I said, a lot of people want to see my downfall, and you guys are not going to see it, my friends. I promise you. It's because I am a very big believer in God. I'm a very, very big believer in myself, and I know I do the right thing by people. So if you do the right thing by people, God will be on your side and help you out.
Do you believe in karma?
Oh, yes, I do. Believe me, karma works in mysterious ways, and everyone gets their turn. I already got my karma, bad, and whoever didn't, be ready because it's coming.
And we're not going to speak about that on camera.
The karma part?
Yeah. Can we? Can we go into that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what do you mean that you got your karma? Can you explain if you...
I was a very troubled kid.
Okay.
What I mean by troubled, I like to knock niggas the fuck out. I like to fight. I'm a fighter. I never use any weapons. I use these fucking hands right here. If anybody knows me, I am the knockout king. I used to do a lot of horrible things to a lot of people. And I had a lot of assault charges growing up.
Now, did you spend any time in prison or locked up or jail?
I have been to jail, but I've never been to prison.
Looking back at the lifestyle you lived, what's one thing you'd want to change?
Nothing.
So you don't regret anything at all?
I don't regret anything in my life. And everything has happened for a reason. And it put me into where I am today. So all the bad stuff I've done so much good to overweigh the bad. And I don't regret anything.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Now, you said you're a big believer in God. Are there any like Bible verses that you like to, always live by, or any things you want to share about that?
No, that's way too personal, but I do pray every single day.
Okay.
And I thank God for helping me and my family and putting me where I am today to actually be a provider. I'm a provider.
Now,
and I love providing.
By you saying you're a provider, what do you mean by that? Are you someone that pays all the bills in the house, or likes to control everything?
Yes, that's one way. And another way as being a provider is that I'm a very holy person, I believe. So if I'm happy, a lot of people are happy in my circle.
Now, as a man, how does it feel to be able to provide for your family and give them the life they deserve?
I think I was put in this world to be a provider, and I'm very okay with being that. I am not in, I'm very happy.
Makes sense. Now, for someone that's young, let's just say someone just graduated high school, they want to start their first business. As someone that's, obviously a grown man, what's some advice you want to give to someone that's young, that just wants to start any business and not screw around and not waste any time? Some key values or core principles they should follow.
Don't listen to your family and friends. If you need money, work harder to save it. Go get a loan. Ask one of your friends with interest. Do anything that you can do to make yourself get that money. If you have a goal in your mind, manifest it and you'll get to it. I tell everybody that. Write things down. I write everything down. Get a white chalkboard and write on the chalkboard, I will have a Lamborghini. I will have the beautiful house. I will have the beautiful wedding with the white picket fence. Write it all down. If you write everything down and you look at it every single day, you're going to start believing that's going to happen. And it will. I promise you. Anybody that's watching this, just write everything down on a piece of paper in your notes on your phone and just go to it every single day and look at it and say it and just keep saying it and believing it and praying into it, and it's going to happen.
Oh, there's a saying. It's like write your goals down, and soon they shall come. Why do you think writing down things is so important? A lot of people overlook something so simple. Is it just a reminder every single day for you?
It's not just a reminder. It's just a lot of people. Do you know how many thoughts go through our head a day? How many tasks go through our head? How much shit we think about? And I even tell my manager this. Write everything down, because there's no way in 10 minutes you're going to remember the 10 tasks I just gave you. If you write it down, you can check mark it off.
Yeah.
And you can do the same thing with your goals. You check mark off each goal that you tackled.
Now, David, how are you going to help someone expand, grow, and scale their body shop? What are some things that you're going to do with step in and help with?
First thing is marketing. I believe marketing into your business and investing into that is definitely going to scale the numbers in your business. The second thing is my experience in the towing game, the auto body shop game, and everything that you need to know about a car, I do know and I will teach you. The third thing is a lot of adjusters and insurance companies, when they come to inspect these vehicles, a lot of shops don't tear down the cars. They don't get the proper hours and procedures that they need to fix the vehicle. Their labor times are cut in half. They're not getting paid for R&Is that they're supposed to. A lot of parts are one-time use that they don't know. I will actually help them with the CCC program and actually make them understand how that program is used. And you could literally turn that into your master key. And that's how I know I can help them.
So through all your years and experience, you're going to be able to use that for someone else that's already in the game.
I built a formula, which I can't say right now because that would be free game. I built a formula that will work and help you 100%.
Now, is this only for people with existing body shop or someone that wants to start a brand new one?
This is for both.
Okay.
It's not only auto body shop business. It's a mechanic, anything with cars, dealers, mechanic shops, tire shops, car washes, hand car washes, Jiffy Lube, anything with cars, mostly auto body, because that's where my department is.
Yeah.
But I had to learn everything about a vehicle to master to where I am today.
Now, all your body shops are using OEM parts?
Yes. If the insurance pays for an OEM part, we're putting in an OEM part. So how that works is if an adjuster comes to one of my customers' vehicles and says, hey, I found an aftermarket headlight or a LKQ, which means it's from the junkyard or recycled, I will call the customer and tell them the adjuster is paying X amount of dollars for this light. You can fight with him now for the actual original, or if he doesn't pay for it, unfortunately, I cannot pay for it. So I would have to put what the estimate and what the adjuster agreed to.
Yeah. Now, as a body shop owner, how key is it to make sure that you're doing good quality work on all your customers' cars?
First of all, you can't make every customer happy because a lot of customers are greedy and they just want money. They see a big check and they think it's dollar signs everywhere, and it's really not, because they don't break down actually the check for parts, payroll, taxes, materials, paint, labor. It's just a bunch of stuff. They see a $10,000 check right away. Yo, how much am I getting? Which nobody wants to do that in this business. You want to fix the car the right way and give them back their car and on their merry little day.
Okay.
But a lot of people just want money nowadays. They don't even care about their car getting fixed.
Yeah. Now, recently you expanded to Miami, right? Can you tell us about this location?
So last year I was actually in the R2R rally, and I've been talking about moving to Miami for a couple of years now, and I've always wanted to have a shop here, and a lot of people don't have the balls to just get up and move, and I actually do. And I just one day says, babe, pack your shit, we are out. And she says, okay, and we're here now.
Now, will you be the biggest shop in Miami, Florida?
I already am.
I was waiting for you to say that. All right, David. So, if you last thing. So, if someone watching this, what do you want to be remembered as or known as? What's like your goal?
It's a very good question. There's, I honestly don't even have an answer for that right now.
Yeah.
I'm just living day by day. That's how I see just today, and then I'll worry about tomorrow when it comes to tomorrow, and the day after when it comes to the day after.
Okay. Now, key thing. So you said in your body shops, right? Are you very organized with all your body shops? Do you write everything down, or how do you organize 3 different body shops with, I would assume, hundreds of cars at a time? How are you keeping track of all this at once?
You need the right team by your circle.
Okay.
If you have the right team, and if you're actually don't do drugs or don't drink, and you have the mindset to be an actual boss, you will be able to master 20 shops.
Now you said no drugs or drinking. Why so?
Because I'm a recovering addict.
Okay.
I'm actually recovering from alcohol and narcotic abuse, and it fucks with your mind. It does not make you see things clearly, and fucks up your day, and drugs and alcohol is not the way to live. I love my life sober a lot better, and you feel more control. And when you're under a substance, a lot of people think they could handle things better. Your mind is not good on any substance.
Now, as someone that's a recovering addict, if someone's struggling right now to get off the drugs or the alcohol, what's one message you want to share with them?
You could do it. It's all in your mind. Just what I did that helped me was one day you're just going to wake up and say, I've had enough. No rehab, no AA meetings or NA meetings, or your mother, your father, your partner is not going to help you get off drugs. It's you that has to want it. If you want it, you're going to do anything in your power to make it happen. Yes, there's people that have withdrawals. Unfortunately, I'm not a person that has withdrawals because I wasn't a everyday user. But there's actually clinics and rehabs and special places. Even if you don't have money, your insurance or Medicaid can cover that. And it's just go to your programs and your AA meetings, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Now, congratulations, by the way, because
Thank
I know
you.
that's very hard for a lot of people to get off whatever substance they're using. Do you feel like, as a man, that's like a lot mentally to really just transition and really get off everything? Or now that you have a daughter, do you feel like now there's more incentive to really like clean
You have
up?
to do it for yourself
Okay.
first. You got to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else. If you don't respect yourself, how can you respect someone else? If you don't respect your body, how can you respect anything? Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
You have to respect yourself, so then you can respect someone else.
Okay.